You're listening to Bush Radio. Bush Radio.
Your real talk radio.
Daganan kilo bejanin kom lo moham. Di beja maso sanalom. Muasa benge kaputo.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmond Omilo.
Dauda Kazim, aka Atiku, is on State Affairs. Dauda, good to have you on State Affairs.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome back from prison.
Thank you, sir.
Dauda Kazim is one of the OPC members that arrested Wakili. You arrested Wakili.
Yes, sir.
How did it happen?
That was on the 7th of March, 2021. So, around January, February. So, the atrocity Wakili and his people were committed around the Barapa axis is no more in news. So, everybody within that area cannot go back to their various farms. They cannot go and carry out their normal activities because the major activities of our people in Ibarapa is farming. So, as at that time, Wakili and his entourage, they used to kidnap our people and collect ransom. So they will rape. There is a man called one of the chief, Odomofi. That chief now say, okay, it's more or less like my people cannot sleep with their two eyes closed again. So let me go and give him quick notice so that at least he should vacate the area. So if anything is now happening again, we will now know that definitely there are still some bad eggs apart from Wakili. So he sent his Akogun there that they should go and give him the letter. But to our surprise, when they got there, they opened fire on them. The people that actually lead them into Wakili's hut to go and give him the letter is an OPC member. So immediately that one happened there. He find an area where he can get network and call on us. He called my boss that it has happened though. And the OPC from Ibarapa East down to Ibarapa North, we do work together hand in hand. So immediately we had that news, we have to rush down to Ayete. And on getting to Ayete, the entire town was, in fact, that Veracruz, the station, the area around the station, people were just there gathering 2-5 numbers that their people are in the bush, they don't know what is happening to them there. Then we now suggested that they should bring out their normal pickup that they normally use in our area, that we should go there and rescue them.
And you started the journey?
Yeah, we went there. And when we got there, that was before the day we arrested him.
Okay.
And when we got there, so the Bajaj, the machine that they took there, was about 9. So the Wakili and his people, they destroyed those machines.
How did they do that?
They used their sword to cut all the tires. The 2 tires.
How come they were able to cut the tires? What happened to the people who
immediately they got there, they opened fire on them. And
when you say open fire, how do you mean?
They started shooting at them with AK-47. Double barrels. Then what is it called? Pump action. So when they now noticed that those number of people they were shooting at them, they are more than those that were in the bush at that time, and they did not really prepared because they thought that they would just get there, give him the letter and come back. So immediately they opened fire on them. They called us and we joined them. So we were looking for them inside the bush. Later they came out.
Were you with AK-47?
We, the OPC people, we don't need all those things.
You don't need it?
We don't need it. All we need is our magic science.
Magic science?
Yes, that's the only thing we use. That is what Iba Gani Adam has given to us.
So you went in with your magic sign.
Yes.
So what happened?
So immediately we now got there. So we just we advised them that we should go back home. We took all those machines. Then the matter was reported at the station. We came back. So our boss now said that this man that is killing our people, that did not allow our people to go to the farm, definitely we should be able to go there and apprehend him. Because the Amotekun and co, they were there, they are up to the task, they can arrest him, but they were not given
the order
to go and do that, to go and do so. So we now said, okay, we had a meeting with the people around that area, the farmers there, that as from tomorrow, you people should start going back to your farm. So that our people will now go with you to the securing you. The OPC will go there. But any attempt for us, if we should be able to see Wakili or any of his boys, we will arrest them. If the government cannot arrest Wakili, then we will do so. But when we are now going, as we are moving, we go to a town called Ideri. One of his informant called him directly that we were on our way, that he should prepare fully for us. So when we got there, as we were just coming down from our Elox, that you two people will stay here. So there is a
How
market.
many of you went there?
We are, there are some people that we called from another town that because the route to Wakili's settlement is up to about 11. So people from Igaga, if they are coming, there is a route they will follow. People from Ideri, there is another route, Igbora. So in our own team, we are 8 in number. So when we got there, so as our boss was distributing, 2 people should be here, they started shooting on us. So immediately I started hearing that gunshot. I noticed that thing is AK-47.
You know the sound of AK-47?
So yeah.
How did you know?
Sir, I was once a student union president. So normally I do go to the police station every day in my town, Igbora. And this AK-47, this security, they do use it. And my farm, I have a very big farm. At times, if this Bororo should destroy my properties and we went there might be a kind of crisis when we get there that they will have to shoot on here. So from the sound, I know. So when they now started shooting, we cannot move closer to them, rather than to allow them to waste the bullet they have with them. So when we now notice that the rate at which they are now shooting at us is now getting down, then we know that it's more or less like their bullet is almost finished. Then we now move towards them. They started running, not knowing that they kept Bajaj at about, let's say, 30 meters to that area. So they went away with Bajaj. But about 3 of them that cannot meet up was apprehended.
And Wakili
was in the settlement, and that is not even far. He was looking at us. His thought as at that time was that his people are still carrying out their normal activities of maybe kidnapping our people. So he was laughing. He was on that tree laughing there. So immediately we now arrested those people, those 3. We said, where is Wakili? They said, it's in the hut. So when we saw him under the tree, immediately he saw us, like he started running.
But it's an old man. Can he run?
Oga. He started running.
The program is State Affairs. I'm discussing with Dauda Kazim, a.k.a. Atiku, a member of OPC. He was recently released from prison for arresting Wakili. It's about Ibarakba. It's about a people that cannot go to farm. It's about a land that has not murdered sleep, yet cannot sleep. It's about the OPC. It's about prison. And it's about action and inaction. Dauda Kazim.
Sir.
Did OPC kill anybody at the scene?
Not at all, sir. In fact, I was highly surprised when one of Wakili's son came around 6 o'clock to Yaganku, that his wife and their house was set ablaze, that his wife had been killed by those that came to arrest Wakili. He even thought that it was Amotekun. So, and the CP threw that question to that, whether, do we kill anybody there? And we said no. That nothing of such happened. That even the settlement of Wakili is still relaying it. That even I'm suspecting these people that once they know that Wakili has been arrested and he can never come back to that point again. So what's the essence of leaving this normal hut there? So they set that ablaze. That was my thought. So they said we're the one that killed somebody there, that will set their settlement ablaze, which was not true.
Now, this hut, what does this hut look like?
It's just ordinary bamboo. They use bamboo stick and the normal.
I learned he has lived there for about 18 years.
Even more than that.
And he didn't build a house.
No.
It's just that hut.
Not at all.
I don't get it. 18 years in a spot, and you don't want to develop it, grow it, make it livable. Okay. Discharged and acquitted. How do you feel, Kazim?
I was so happy, sir, on that day.
3 of you were remanded in Agodi, right?
No, on the 16th, we are remanded at Abolongo prison, Oyo. That time, in fact, it was so tough for us because our leaders, our family members, they were afraid at that time because they said that they had it from a reliable source that if they should see any of our leaders or members, that they should get them arrested. And that's why they were like just trying to hide their heads. So about some days later, the lawyers and our leader, the boss, came. And from there, maybe after 16 days, we were transferred down to Agodi prison. And on getting to Agodi prison, so about 3 or 4 days later, there was a Jumsi strike. So that time it took us about 3.5 months in the prison. And there's nothing we can do as at that time.
So how was prison?
Sir, the prison, well, let me just say that it has happened. So, but I don't feel happy for a second in that prison. Because you cannot eat what you actually have in mind to eat. So the ration that they normally give us, I still thank government. Because if they didn't give us anything, so they do bring our ration, and it was all this gari beans. So we manage it. So if not for the assistance of our leaders and those that are in union and all these advocates, this is my dear brother Oladokun, then this is my president and the lawyers and some other people and our boss that used to come and give us money, And in prison, if you are given 20,000 naira in prison today, that 20,000 naira, if you really want to spend it the way you eat outside, it will not take you more than 3 days for a single person. So, and when I was there, so I was seriously sick. So later they brought drugs and I was hospitalized. Then I was treated for typhoid. And later I got better. The lawyer now came and told us that the court has resumed. That hopefully, that was on Tuesday, that hopefully by Friday, he will get back to us. It was on Monday that she called that we should get ready, that she will come and pick us on Tuesday. So they took us to court on Tuesday. So and they said we are discharged and acquitted, that we have no case to answer.
And you are happy?
I'm very, very happy on that day. Very, very, very happy.
What about your 2 colleagues? How are they?
They are at home now.
They are well?
Ever since that day, we've not been able to treat ourselves. Because everybody was so happy in Nebarapa that we could come back. Because Wakili do tell us in the cell, in that prison, that they will not release us again. There is one of his son called Abu. His name is Doki. At times people will call him Doki. At times they will call him Abu. Every blessed day, I will have to discuss with him, interact with him for almost about, let's say, 2-3 hours. And that is why he started dishing out some information
to you.
Sir, You know, the so-called Bororo Fulanis, they don't have secrets when it gets to some certain point. He was telling me that that day we got them arrested. That I didn't mean that we took them to a police station. That they would have released them immediately there.
Bush Radio. Bush Radio.
Your Real Talk Radio.